All right, so what I'm videoing is this is the old process control that we've had in here for quite some time. My students do an introduction to motor control, and this is a process where three different liquids in three different tanks get mixed together in a certain process. So over here it just indicates when the drain pump is on, when the mixer is on. How it worked was we have two motor starters in here. We're using a couple of contactors for relays, and we also have a time relay in here. And the process of the three liquids is all three tanks come on and they all go down into the mixing tank, and after a certain amount of time that the timer times out, it shuts off two of the valves and only tank C continues to fill. As it fills, the float switch will come up and it actually shuts off the third tank, tank C, and it brings on the drain, which drains the fill tank, and it would move it to another part of the plant in the process. All right. So we've used this for quite some time. This one here, actually, we pull the wires off, and the students have to figure out where the wires go by tracing them with their meters and whatnot. And they have a ladder diagram that they go by. And what we did was have a student, Chris Kromke. He was in the last video on the traffic light that we did, which is behind him under the sheet. He was trying to think of another process to do so we could use the HMI screen and the PLC that we got from Automation Direct. That was donated, actually. The PLC and a lot of the stuff that go with the PLC was donated by MRMA. And so what we did was we redid this process, because in manufacturing, most manufacturers have PLC and HMI technology, and so a process would probably be more converted over to this system here. So we have everything labeled over here. You can see we've gotten rid of the timer and we've gotten rid of the relays. Since we have the PLC, what Chris did was he kind of figured out what the logic diagram had to be for the PLC. He figured out how to link the HMI to the PLC. Of course, we still needed the two motor starters. So what he did was he did the logic. Everything worked on the computer when he ran it through its test run, and then he came in here and kind of put this lab together for the classroom. And it works the same exact way. So what we're going to do is just, the old one we didn't have wired up to show the process, but you'll see the process on this one here. So Chris, just as a comparison, harder or easier than the traffic light?
It's a little bit more difficult. There's more programming involved, especially like with the HMI, and a little bit more wiring, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad.
Okay. All right. So he is the PLC HMI guru right now, and he has graduated from my class, like I told you the last time, and he's currently at CF. And what are you taking at CF, Chris?
I'm majoring in what is it? Advanced manufacturing and processes.
Okay. So he really was interested in this stuff here, so he's taking it. He's the type of student that takes a lot of his own time. I certainly can't take a lot of credit for what he's done here on this one. He knows probably more than I ever will about HMI and PLC. We do have a new class starting. Mr. Fasori is teaching, where he will do more of the advanced control. But let's go ahead and take it through a cycle, Chris.
Okay.
So tell them what you're doing.
I'm gonna hit the start button.
Okay.
And we got our three liquids draining into a tank, visually represented right here.
Okay.
and after about 15 seconds, you'll see the mixing motor just starts.
All right, so tank A and B just shut off. If you see the indicator lights, only tank C is still running.
Yeah.
The mixing motor kicked on, and now that's the liquid level switch. So as tank C continues filling the fill tank or the mixing tank, the float switch or the level switch will reach its level. So go ahead and activate the level. All right, so now what it's doing is it's turned on the drain motor. You can see it's just a little motor over here that we're using as the drain motor. And as it drains, the float switch or the level switch will go back down.
Yes. Oh, and it's represented on the HMI screen too.
Yeah,
what's
you can
going
see
on.
everything that's happening, or pretty much everything
Yeah.
that's happening is
In
also
real
on the
time.
HMI. And now the
And
process starts all over. So all day long, once you hit the start button, this process will continue over and over until the end of the day when they finally hit the stop button. So go ahead and hit the stop button, Chris. And it's a beautiful thing. Thank you.